Well, hello and welcome to my somewhat new YouTube channel where I'm going to be discussing true crime. It's something, that's really upsetting to a lot of people, but I actually kind of like it because I really like to see, you know, more than what the media is showing you and to kind of uncover some things that no one else has. So, Brian Laundrie. Let's talk about Brian Laundrie. I'm not going to go and do the whole recap unless someone wants me to. But everyone's pretty much caught up at this point. So let's talk about Brian Laundrie conspiracy theories. There was a bunch of them. That he's a serial, someone that goes out and takes people out. On his Instagram, he had these creepy posts, photos of his own creepy drawings. And no one noticed it at all. It seemed like to me that he was a part of some like cult, like some Charles Manson cult. Sorry, where they're going around just a lot of people have these anger issues that they don't take care of. They don't get help for. So, maybe he was angry and took a few people out because there is some other person on YouTube, I forgot her name, that shows that Brian may be involved in another homicide or whatever we can say on this app, that he was involved somehow, that the lady worked at the restaurant. It was a couple, and Brian may have ran into them and took them out as well. But there's a lot more rumors to Brian Laundrie, because if you think about it, a lot of things people have not really discussed is that in our, for like Gen Z, millennials, there's not been that many high profile, kill, K's, ILLERs, S, there hasn't been a lot. But the ones that I remember in my young adult life, it would be Chris Watts. To think that Brian Laundrie had to have heard about Chris Watts at some point in his life, and for him to go and do this, their cases are very similar. But my whole thing is, why did he take Gabby out? Why? Was she planning on leaving him? Did she know something? Maybe Brian was having an affair or cheating on her and she found out somehow. Because there's a lot of guys that, one woman isn't enough for them. They'll be texting someone, tweeting someone, liking their Instagram posts, and then Gabby probably found out and threatened to leave him, and, he did some awful things to her. But, was there a side girl? Was Brian having some kind of side girlfriend, and why haven't we heard about it? Because it doesn't make sense to me. Unless, she was done with him. He was probably crazy and had anger issues, and she was like, I'm done. I'm not going to do this anymore. Was Brian just not well in the head? Was, like my theory was he a part of some cult that, takes people out off this earth because he has anger issues, Something like on CSI or Law and Order, just a bad guy that's out hurting people. Let's see, what's another theory? Was Brian, gay? Who knows? Did Brian have a secret side piece somewhere or somehow? A lot of people deal with a lot of things that we don't know about. But here's another conspiracy theory that, keeps me up at night. Who took Brian out? Because if Brian did this, and he really did hurt Gabby, which is a lot of proof that he did, why, and he went on the run, why would he take his own life? He got away. He had two whole weeks or a couple of days ahead of the police. Why would he take his own life? This guy really seemed to love himself. He wouldn't even litter. He was very much caring about the planet and about waste and, eating healthy. I don't think he would just take his own life. It was also weird that Dog the Bounty Hunter, Dog, having his own drama, having a new wife after his last one passed away, after his last one passed away. Because, you know, back in the day, when him and Beth would find people at the end of every episode. And if it wasn't at that episode, it'd be on the next one. Dog never gave up. So one of my theories, allegedly, is that Dog found him. Or one of his guys found him. They roughed him up, you know? Because anyone can put a weapon into your hand and make it look like you did it to yourself, you know? So maybe he found him, you know? Alola, brother. Aloha, you know? Sorry, I'm thinking about Pokemon. But Aloha, brother, and then took him out. He took him out, possibly. You know, there's a lot of people, you know, even my parents and, you know, a lot of people I've talked to at work and on Twitter and in Facebook. They said, you know, if I just got my hands on Brian Laundrie, the stuff I would, you know, they would do to him, you know, it could have been anyone. It could have been some guy with kids and, you know, he spotted Brian, you know, in the lagoon and took him out. Sorry, my parrot screaming. No one's in the basement, okay? Promise. But it's just crazy that he would just take his own life. Because to me, it seemed like he loved himself a little bit too much. So I think someone found him. And if not, you know, Roberta Laundrie, his mom, Roberta, and his dad, I forgot his name. You know, the Laundries. You know, how they just kept quiet and didn't say much. You know, that's just weird to me. You know, if you go on the, you know, the little video that went viral with the hand in their garden, under the garden, you know, were they hiding him? Did they bury him? You know, because, you know, Gabby and Brian were living in their house. You know, this is an elderly couple, you know, ready to, you know, don't have many years left on this earth. I don't think you want to hear your son and, you know, his girlfriend shacking up in the next room, or, you know, partying, or coming home late, or having the TV or music too loud, you know. Or if, you know, if they were fighting in vans, you know, if they were fighting in that van, can you imagine how many, you know, little problems they had at home? And what Roberta and Mr. Laundrie saw? Because how do we know that they weren't, you know, driving them crazy and they did something to Gabby? Because if you think about it, Brian was on the run. He was running from someone because some lady on TikTok said she picked him up. And he was scared. He didn't want to go to a specific area when she told him where she was going to take him. Was Brian running from Roberta? You know? Roberta could have been chasing him, and Mr. Laundrie could have been chasing Roberta to stop her from taking him out.